Breaking immigration news: if you entered the United States under a parole program, Trump has essentially paused the processing of immigration benefits that you may have applied for while you've been in the U.S. CBS News obtained an internal memo from USCIS dated February 14, 2025, and it essentially pauses all pending immigration applications for individuals who entered the U.S. under Biden-era parole programs. These include individuals who entered on the Uniting for Ukraine parole program, which was a program for Ukrainians who were fleeing the Russian invasion and includes about 240,000 people, as well as the parole program for Cubans, Haitians, Venezuelans, and Nicaraguans that has allowed 530,000 individuals to legally migrate to the United States, and certain family reunification programs, which include individuals from Colombia, Ecuador, Central America, Haiti, and Cuba. And it's a program that allowed them to come to the United States to wait for their family-based green cards to become available to them. Now again, the memo orders an administrative pause on all pending applications filed by people who entered the U.S. in these categories. So that means if you entered the U.S. under those programs and you've applied for asylum, TPS, a green card, a work permit, your case is essentially frozen. Now this is happening because the memo claims that there's concerns about fraud, public safety, and national security. Specifically, there were fraud investigations allegedly done where serial sponsors were identified. Essentially, one person was sponsoring multiple applicants, or applications were linked to deceased individuals or identical addresses, or some people were just not fully vetted. So as a result, USCIS is stopping the adjudication of all these cases in order to do a quote-unquote full review. But here's the problem. There's no evidence that there's widespread fraud among these applicants. And the pause doesn't just impact fraudulent cases, it halts every case, even legitimate ones. And ultimately, the memo does not set a timeline during which this final review is going to be resolved. The memo says USCIS will only lift the pause after a full and comprehensive review is complete of every individual who entered under these programs. That could take months, it could take years, and in the meantime, applicants can't work if their work permit expires, they can't apply for asylum or permanent resident status, and they could be placed in removal proceedings. And the sad part is USCIS already has a backlog of millions of cases, so this is now going to cause the system to be further clogged up, all while they supposedly investigate. And unfortunately, this puts hundreds of thousands of people in legal limbo. So while this is being called a pause, unfortunately, it makes a lot of people susceptible to removal from the United States, which falls nicely in Trump's plan of mass deportations. And ultimately, it's clear that this is another attempt to even make legal immigration harder. And this is all coming after DHS announces a nationwide and international ad campaign warning individuals without U.S. immigration status who are here in the U.S. to self-deport and stay out. There's even a video of the US DHS secretary where she's basically saying that if you're in the United States without status, you should leave. And if you don't, we will find you and we'll deport you. So all of this makes it impossible for immigrants to even stay here legally, even if they follow the rules. So what can you do if you're impacted by this? First, you should consult with your immigration attorney. If you haven't filed for anything yet, they may be able to help you assess another way forward. Or if you have filed already, they might be able to help you navigate the process. Also, keep all of your documents and proof of your pending applications. These would be critical if you're in a position where you're faced with ICE or removal from the US. Also, stay on top of deadlines in your case as well as policy updates. Make sure you're monitoring the status of your case with USCIS and stay informed on the latest updates on immigration. Also, avoid scams and misinformation. Don't pay anybody who promises you a quick fix or a loophole. Only trust licensed immigration attorneys or reputable legal aid organizations to help you. For more immigration news and information, feel free to give us a follow.